Hi, it's me. Just do a few things for make sure everything is going around the back end. Audio's good, at least seemingly. I'm so good at that manual slider adjustment. Alright, everything looked good on stream. I disappeared. There I am. Hello. Alright, anyone in the people in the chat can read. They know what's going on here. If you don't know what's going on here, not sure what you're doing here, honestly. This is like turbo spoilers. Okay. Proof of concept that taking breaks helps. I think I remember this now. This is on the boat. I need to get to the boat. Actually, you know what? I should go ahead and take a screenshot of the do the thing. Did I show us quite good? Damn, I forgot about that. Well, it was there. Oh wait, hold on. I also forgot to put up the text for I will solve tracker. There we go. I still don't know why sometimes it just says screenshot at the in the center of the screen when I try to screenshot them. Like, why is it? Like, why do you care? Anyway, Three-Eye Show. What all did they like reveal? I did see Clover Pit got an update, and in it they mentioned that they're now in a bundle with a game that was mentioned in Triple I. This lead down to the boat. Yeah, okay. Okay. First things first, let's look for that thermometer one. Everybody has game by the devs of Buckshot. Not what I would have expected, but alright. Okay. So... I guess these are the, like, relatively straightish ones on the top of the thing here. Adon. I'm assuming by Adon you mean Alabaster Dawn. Oh, hey. Another triangle puzzle. What in the world is solving all... What in the world is solving those doing? I still don't know. Alright. Where was the thermometer hole again? I remember it being here now. And I don't think I've hallucinated that. Warhammer Vampire Survivor. As in, like, Warhammer's making a Vampire Survivors game? Or Warhammer Vampire Survivors crossover? Okay, no, I have found this one. Crossover, okay. Certainly an interesting choice for a crossover. I wouldn't have thought Warhammer and Vampire Survivors would be a good mix, but then again, Vampire Survivors seems to be fine collabing with anything. Never mind. I was fed false information. Oh. I forgot about this. Oh, it's an invisible mirror puzzle. Okay, so it doesn't like show anything. Castlevania game made by Dead Cells creator? Yeah, that was revealed a while ago, wasn't it? Okay, so this is another sound puzzle like the ones in the bamboo forest. But which color corresponds to what noises? There's a lot of different water droplet noises. And there's the weird ambient tone in the background. I don't remember. Because, like, that drop there sounds kind of... What happened? What? Just... Why did stream die? I... I didn't lose internet. Terrifying. Moving on. Hey, Leo. You joined just in time. Stream just died for no reason. I came back to the boat to look for more environmental puzzles since I remembered the thermometer-looking one being here, and I found this puzzle that I never solved. Because I don't think I'd done the bamboo forest yet when I came here and didn't know the sound correlation. Gonna tell you? What are you gonna tell me? This puzzle's a bitch. Lovely. Sorry. Lovely. Oh! Here's the fucking thermometer looking one. I have to look at it from above. There we go. What do you know about this puzzle so far? It's a sound-based one, like the ones in the bamboo forest. Because we've got the different dots of differing sizes. It's a mirror puzzle, but the second line is invisible. I can tell because I can't go through this section at all. And we have a couple of different noises in the background, although I'm not sure how I would correlate which sound to which color it is. I do know that one of the sounds is going to be two mediums and a low, One of them's going to be a low and a high, and one of them's a medium and a high. That sounded like a low. Okay, I think the water droplet noises are the orange one here. I'm gonna write that down, actually, so I don't lose track of it. Orange, purple, black, water droplet noises, low, mid, mid. That was a lot of water droplets, though. There's that weird droning noise that only happens when I'm looking at this puzzle, so I imagine that's it, but like, not sure how exactly to correlate that. Not BS's Castle Opolis Triangle puzzle, thank God. Feel like I'm editing a rant video because I just want it out. Oh, you're not gonna be sticking around? I'll be listening. Ah, okay. That, like, ominous groaning noise in the background has to be something with this. But what? Which of these is it, though? Uh, go, gadget. I win the puzzle because I'm very smart. What do you mean that didn't work? Like that. Like Hell's Kitchen sound effect has to be something because it only plays when I'm looking at this puzzle. I just don't know how to correlate that to two notes. I mean, I guess it only like slightly goes up instead of like majorly changing. So, oh wait, hold on. There's two separate groaning noises, and that's the what I need to do. Can I tell you something funny? Sure. Okay, that was a high-sounding one. And he was like, kind of a vocal stim for me? How do you vocal stim to the Hell's Kitchen sound effect? Okay, since they don't seem to want to play anymore, I think the groaning noises are like purple, or the purple one. Because we had a really low sounding one and this really high sounding one. The thing is, we only have two cases here, so how am I supposed to know which one came first? What if I gonna leave the area and then like come back? Or is that supposed to be a mid? Also, I thought I could only hear it when I was next to the puzzle, but apparently not. Okay, I feel like that's a low one. That's gotta be low. So I feel like purple is the groaning noises. Middle groaning noises is purple. Until the correct order. Brute force. Thanks. Appreciate it. You're assaulted before? Seemingly. Also, you can ask him, not me. Why are you asking me if he's assaulted before? Ask the man himself. Zero's asking, what? When when I asked how was I supposed to tell, then that means that you said I don't remember. You must have like seen stuff on this game then. Okay. I'm starting to get concerned that it's not the water droplet noises that's one of them because there's way more water droplets. There's way more than three water droplets that happen sometimes, and I don't know why. Okay, so like going with what we've got so far, let's assume that I got it correct and that orange is the water droplet noises and purple is the like metal groaning. What's the third sound effect then? So-called hardest puzzle, like dubbed by Johnny himself, I think. Really, a lot of people are calling this hardest one, hardest panel one. Okay, water droplets I think are low, mid. The metal groaning I can't quite tell because this puzzle hates you. But then what's the third sound effect? Is that supposed to be more metal groaning, or is that a different sound effect than the metal? I'm gonna try something. Okay, Mr. Blow, I would prefer if I didn't have the word screenshot on my screen when I tried to, like, snip this puzzle to actually solve it with. Go Gadget Image Editor. And, like, actually make our, like, rendition of this puzzle that we'll have to solve later, and maybe then I can get some insight. Oop. Not like that, yeah. It's gonna be here. It's a little hard to make out against the, like, against the lines in the background, but it'll work, I think. What other sets of puzzles whose shoulder do you think this puzzle's standing on? Eh? Oh, also, since it is a mirror puzzle, basically go ahead and, like, just completely scrub these lines out because they're never going to be used. What? What's so funny? Wait, hold on, I'm not on chatting scene, am I? No, I am. Oh, Twitch Mobile just froze because the stream died for a bit. I looked over at my stream preview and it was showing, like, the game, and I'm like, huh? I pressed 3, didn't I? Anyway, yeah, what's so funny? One of our questions, what other puzzle mechanics do you think this puzzle is utilizing? I need the long-ass pause. I don't know. I hadn't really thought this puzzle was utilizing other mechanics. I thought this was, like, just a bamboo forest-esque sound puzzle with 3 different sounds. Well, I mean, I know it is also utilizing mirror. So, like, Like, if I did something like this here, it also means something like this is happening here. Which is also why this wouldn't work, because any line that goes here would have a line going here, and then they wouldn't be able to pass each other. What if it's just, like, this or something? Wouldn't that be, like... Ow, my ears! Oh, what do you mean that didn't work? What if it's this, though? What do you mean that didn't work? Okay, definitely mirror. Mirror, didn't get that wrong. You're gonna be smarter than me, so I want you to keep trying until you burn out. That happens faster than most with me, I will admit. Okay, hold on, gonna, like, size on my head clear for a second. Okay, I think I might have an idea on another trick this puzzle's pulling. Every other time we've had a sound puzzle, we've had set sound puzzles where there's, like, different sounds going on. They've been physically separated out puzzles. There hasn't been an instance so far where a sound puzzle has had two separate sounds going on once, and you're expected to solve both of them at the same time. So, unless I'm going, like, crazy here, I think instead of, like, trying to solve them individually, I have to solve it all as, like, one sequence. So it's not just the water droplets are low, mid, mid, and the groaning is low, high. It's like first there's the low groaning, then one of the mid droplets, then it goes to high groaning, then the two droplets, and then to whatever blacks are. I think that might be what's going on here. But with so many different noises going on, I have no clue how to tell where this, like, supposed sequence starts. For the sake of making sure I don't, like, go on spend 2 hours trying to work out a wrong assumption, am I correct that the different colors correspond to different background noises? On the right track? I basically did just ask that, so yeah. Because, like, I don't want to spend, like, an hour racking my brain figuring out this puzzle, and then I realize, oh, it turns out I just was completely wrong from the get-go, huh? And then I have to redo the entire thing, and the last 2 hours were functionally wasted. No, it's not right. Huh. Well, then what would the different colors correspond to? Maybe it's just a thing where I have to do all of one and then all of the other? Like, I have to do all of the pinks, then all of the oranges, then all of the blacks? Or something to that effect? No idea. I, I'm honestly not entirely sure what your idea means. Pinks and oranges, you take them with different lines. Then what about black? Any? I'm not confident in any being a real solution here. You know where else you've seen dodge puzzle? Well, these hexagons, I've seen them used before as, like, just general purpose. You have to collect all of these on your path. At least I figured that's what it was. Oh, hey, there's a philosophy here.
A shipowner was about to send to sea an emigrant ship. He knew that she was old and not well built
Hey,
at the
wait a
first,
minute.
that she had seen many seas and climes, and often had needed
This is the
repairs.
one that got the
Doubts had been
insurance
suggested to him
fraud.
that possibly she was not seaworthy. These doubts preyed upon his mind and made him unhappy. He thought that perhaps he ought to have her thoroughly overhauled and refitted, even though this should put him at great expense. Before the ship sailed, however, he succeeded in overcoming these melancholy reflections. He said to himself that she had gone safely through so many voyages and weathered so many storms that it was idle to suppose she would not come safely home from this trip also. He would put his trust in Providence, which could hardly fail to protect all these unhappy families that were leaving their fatherland to seek for better times elsewhere. He would dismiss from his mind all ungenerous suspicions about the honesty of builders and contractors. In such ways, he acquired a sincere and comfortable conviction that his vessel was thoroughly safe and seaworthy. He watched her departure with a light heart and benevolent wishes for the success of the exiles in their strange new home that was to be. And he got his insurance money when she went down in mid-ocean and told no tales. What shall we say of him?
Wait,
Surely this, that he was verily guilty of the death of those families. It is admitted that he did sincerely believe in the soundness of his ship, but the sincerity of his conviction can in no wise help him, because he had no right to believe on such evidence as was before him. He had acquired his belief not by honestly earning it in patient investigation, but by stifling his doubts. and although in the end he may have felt so sure about it that he could not think otherwise, yet inasmuch as he had knowingly and willingly worked himself into that frame of mind, he must be held responsible for it. William K. Clifford, 1874.
I wasn't expecting the insurance money part to actually be. I wasn't expecting the insurance money bit to be part of the original quote, I'll be real. Okay. Where else have I seen the, like, hexagons and dot puzzles and whatnot? The hexagons have been a general purpose, like, indicator that for, hey, you have to collect all of these in order to continue. Sorry, I just saw something I need to go investigate later. There's like a light shine in the water there that almost looks like the back half of a line or an environmental puzzle. I think the treehouse also had some puzzles that used the, like, colored hexagons, didn't they? There an easy way to, like, go over and check without having to go through the entire castle again? No? Alright. Have I ever checked, like, around here? Okay, yeah, it's dead end. Taking a bit of a trek in order to double check this. In terms of, like, as a tutorial puzzle. As in, think of the one in the ship as a tutorial puzzle, or think about, like, which tutorial puzzles have had the colored dots one. Because some of these puzzles, no, am I misremembering? I think there was a puzzle in the treehouse that had, like, the colored little Pac-Man dots. Some puzzles mix mechanics to add difficulty. A lot of puzzles exist, and you might just get confused. Yeah, I would, wouldn't I? Who'd have thought the man with, like, 2 separate memory debilitating disorders would have trouble remembering things? I'll wait for that to come up to get back to the map. No, it's not just like a... God, what did I get wrong? What did I get wrong so bad that you have to shout that? Don't underestimate your self-belief. This isn't an underestimation. I am very confident in this estimation. I am not stifling my doubt. These observations are based on years of repeated observation of the fact that I just genuinely am not wired to have a good working memory. Okay, so it's dots, it's mirrors. What do the colors mean? I don't think I actually understand what the colors mean. The only time I remember seeing colored, like, Pac-Man dots like that. I feel like Santa Claus had colored dots. I don't remember any others. Did it? God, I'm gonna have to take a hike and a half to go check, huh? Do Line Girls at it? They might have. I don't know, like... You see, the thing is... Like, it comes off as self-deprecating, but I genuinely just, like, physically am not wired good to remember things unless I've been, like, given an explicit reason to keep them in the back of my mind for later. So with that, when you ask me to figure out which, like, 1, 2, or 3 of the 440 plus puzzles I've solved that introduce the mechanic I'm thinking of, like, that's a bit of a tall order for me. That tree still gives me the creeps. Thing is, I'm Jonathan Blows. You're Jonathan Blow? Wow. Fuck you, dude. Never thought I'd get to say that to your face. None of those feature different color dots. This was all the pitch themed ones. They didn't have any like color dots which to speak. Might start breathing and blowing himself game my dream. On the one hand, that'd be really funny. On the other hand, do you think the great and mighty philosopher Jonathan Blow would waste his time on such plebeians like us? Okay. On further examination, I don't think that the like sound puzzles actually had any dual colored things. But was that a thing with the mirror puzzles? I need to go check that next. Head through this way. Dots weren't black though? Well, yeah, the dots weren't black, but the point of contention here is that there's several sets of dots that are different colors from each other. I'm a fucking genius, in case you weren't aware. I did just try to jump, don't question it. That was a color separation one. This was the, like, the last one. Vases, the lovely vases. Yeah, I'm back at the fucking vases again. To see if there were colored dots in here. No, these don't have colored dots. Even with that one was the same thing over and over. So if there was colored dots, it would be like on the cliff side here. This one did have dots and mirrors. But the gimmick here was that you just needed to, like, mirror them across each other, not necessarily... It wasn't necessarily a direct, like, mirror line thing. Dots here are the same color. At least so far. Am I tweaking, or the dots here are actually slightly different colors? They're all black, just saves and tweaking. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that is why I asked. Oh, there was color dots here, wasn't there? How the fuck did I have this puzzle solved again? I knew it, I'm almighty. You really are Jonathan Blow. How the fuck did I have this puzzle solved again? Go catch a highlighter. I don't want to leave this puzzle unsolved. I want to just start it and then, like, leave it unsolved again. That feels mean, you know? I'm the smartest ever. Okay. So we have seen color dots before, actually. And they have to do a mirror. The thing is, if that's the case, why are there 3 colors? Oh. Black. Black is just a general purpose color. Yeah. Yeah, black just was the general purpose color where it didn't matter, did it? Okay then, so we have purple, orange, and black, but then, like, problem, what fucking color are the lines? 'Cause I'm pretty sure I clicked on the line and it was just, like, not either of those 2 colors, wasn't it? Might be easier to get to the... Easier to get through from here, actually. It's kind of a hint, but not direct. Sure. I trust you to not be too, like, backseaty about this. It also technically uses another mechanic. It doesn't matter too much to solve. but it will help. The thing is, here's the thing. It kind of breaks that rule. Oh, lovely. That's exactly what I want to hear. You know what? I've been stranded. Now, I still haven't even found either of the other two bunkers that have the rest of the theater codes in it. I was searching for environmental puzzles, and I haven't found either of those yet. You look at it from colored glass you haven't found. That ship puzzle is a... Oh, the ship puzzle's a bunker. Okay. That makes sense, actually, yeah. When you say it out loud like that, yeah, that tracks. You know, I've talked on this game a few times for, like, being being obsessed with wasting time, making everything a slog. I actually do really like how the boat rides are just... Unless you're trying to do an environmental puzzle, the boat rides are just supposed to be slow and relaxing. It's peaceful. I like it. No, not this way. Over this way. Okay, so current working assumptions. It has to do with sound somehow, because the dots are different sizes. The different colors of dots seemingly correlate to which line I have to collect them with, although I'm not sure how to tell which color each line is. Because this one's just white, and this one's also just white. So, I guess I just had to do one that does low, high for the purple, and also, like, would hit these in that specific order for the other one? It hits a low, then it... No, that hits a medium first. You can always see which one lights up. They don't. This isn't a tutorial puzzle. The... Unless you do a tutorial... If you do anything that's not a tutorial puzzle wrong, what you do wrong doesn't light up, I don't think. Damn it. Damn it. lot of people don't like this puzzle. I think it's neat. It's a lot to juggle already. Okay. There's so much shit to keep track of. Okay. So colored dots, so I have to solve them by specific lines. So one line needs to connect the purples, one line needs to connect the oranges. Blacks are just general purpose, I guess. It's sound based as well. So I also need to find out, like, which order I need to collect the dots in. In Shipwreck, I'll get you 1,000,000 clicks. Evil shipwreck puzzle that hates me. That shipwreck, but also it's bullshit. Yeah, all dots are droplet sounds and you have to collect them in correct order. Right, because we did find out that it's not a, like, thing to that extent. I'm not wired properly to try and remember and juggle this many rules at once, while I can't even see half of them. Okay. Write down all droplet sounds first. Yeah. I need to, like, head away to let the sequence reset, I think. Go out for a bit. Get some fresh air. Oh. Mid. High. Low. Mid. Mid. Low. Mid. Mid. Okay, well, how come sometimes I feel like it just repeats low, mid, mid? And then sometimes it plays like 50 different droplet sounds at once. Low droplet noise. I think that's a mid. I think that's a high. Maybe. Low. Mid. High. Low. High, high. Would you shut up? Okay, look. I get it. part of the puzzle is being able to tell the sounds apart from the background noise. But also, I'm not a fan of the background noise having a bunch of shit that can just obscure the actual puzzle I'm trying to solve. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, there's no volume settings in this game because Jonathan Blow fucking hates you. Oh, son of a bitch, you can't actually see the save from in there, huh? How many dots are on the puzzle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 of them. But it also doesn't feel like there's a 7-drop sequence going on. It feels like there's a 3-drop sequence going on that's sometimes actually a 5-drop sequence. Low. Mid. Mid. Low. High, high? Low. Okay, well that's a sequence of 7 sounds. Unfortunately, there was 3 lows in there. Okay. First question for Akinator, I mean Leonator. Do the, like, ship groaning sounds have anything to do with the puzzle, or is that just there to make my life harder? They are related. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, so there's 2 different sets of sounds, and they both matter to the puzzle, but also separating them out by color doesn't matter. And also it's mirror, and also there's a pitch thing, and also there's colored dots, so I have to collect one with one line and one with the other. And also there's supposed to be 7 noises in total, but there's like no frame of reference to tell whether one's supposed to be low or mid or high, because it's the sound of metal groaning, and it only seems to be like 2 separate sounds, so I have no idea if that's low, mid, or mid-high. And is this puzzle fun? No. No. Evil. Evil fucking puzzle. This puzzle doesn't feel obtuse, this puzzle feels actively obstructive. We'll keep reaching anymore. I imagine it's also easier to see the merits of the puzzle when you're not going through the frustration blender. and instead just watching someone else go through the frustration blender. I have a bunch of like disparate points that I'm pretty sure are true. I have to collect one color of dots with one line, one color of dots with the other. Black is general purpose. It's a mirror puzzle because I can't go through the center. So both lines are actually active at once secretly. It's a sound-based puzzle where there's 2 low notes, 3 mid notes, and 2 high notes. Both the metal groaning sounds and the water droplet noises are related to the puzzle. I have a bunch of disparate points here that all seem to be true and all matter, but I do not have anything even resembling a thread to connect them all with. I just felt like it. Now we're only an hour into the stream and I'm already starting to lose my shit. This took me 2 streams? Oh, fuck me. By the way, yes. What the last solution have to do with time? I think it was saying like spend time amidst the archives. As in like go there and just hang out for a bit. And then you'll happen upon the solution. I think that's what that was trying to say. Which last solution? Vivid Stasis puzzle from yesterday. Or not yesterday, 2 days ago. Should absolutely still play that game, Leo. You should definitely ring me up if you do. I'd be more than willing to help you out with any questions you got. Am I even actually thinking anything right now? I think my mind's just gone blank with white noise. Okay. What's the connective tissue between all of these different things? Oh, also another disparate point I didn't even remember until now. Not only do all those disparate points matter, but also there's another mechanic that's incorporated in here, but also it kind of breaks its own rule somehow, which is not how any puzzle in this entire game has been set up so far. Have an idea you really want to like? Hit me. We're all in this together, as they said one time in High School Musical. It's a rule established, but it still kind of makes sense. You see, that's the thing. This game hasn't operated in kind of before. This entire game, all 441 puzzles I've solved in this game so far don't operate in sort of breaks the rule, sort of continues the rule. Every puzzle so far has had hard and fast rules, and it either follows them or it doesn't, and if it doesn't, then the puzzle solution is wrong. How can it kind of make sense? And you know what? I'm gonna like go to the bathroom and like do something else for a second, let my mind get off of this whole thing. I'll be back in a minute. I need to just like let my mind wander for a bit. See ya. Alright, I'm back. Hope I didn't keep y'all waiting too long. I hope y'all enjoyed yourself. Because, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and mute the audio real quick. That way only one of us suffers from the sound of 50 different water droplets hitting the ground at once. So I was standing outside. Forgot about that little detail. Just like, don't worry about it. What'd you get from the fresh air? Confused. Personally. Also, there's a thing here. What'd you send me? Oh, you sent an image of the puzzle to... Okay. You sending that to OPR. Do you want to brute force all 160 times 2 possible solutions? No. Absolutely not. One 160 is not a lot. You just said 160 times 2. That's 320. Lock in. Low. Not sure about that one. That was high. And that's absolutely the same sound again. Okay. Maybe the droplets are low, mid, high, actually. Okay, so maybe going out and getting some fresh air actually did help. Because, I don't know. I think... I don't think I picked up on the, like, one really loud droplet sound before, did I? Is there a place where I can just hear the, like, metal groaning sound effect and not the... Like, putting sounds in memory? I'm writing them down on... I'm writing them down on a .txt file. Oh, wait, yeah, I'm not jinxing, am I? Yeah, here. Okay, is there a place where I can just hear, like, the metal groaning sound effect and not the water droplets? Not up here, seemingly. Shut up! That was sounded like high low. Or is that supposed to be mid? Okay. Mid, low, mid, high. That's what it sounds like. And then does it loop from there? Yeah, I think that's the first sound again. Or at least that's the sound I wrote down first. Okay, so if I heard that right, water droplets go like just low, mid, high, and the metal groaning sounds do like a sine wave sort of thing. That accounts for every possible node. Because now there's 2 lows, 3 mids, and 2 highs. But then what does black mean? Boom. Okay, no, that's low, high, mid for the drops, I think, actually, on another here. Okay, so if I've got it right so far, droplet sound effect is low, high, mid, and then the metal groaning is mid, low, mid, high. That aligns with what we've got to an extent because we have mid, low, mid in orange and the low, high in purple. And both of the black dots actually have our last ones. So maybe I need to find a solution that like has one line hit mid, high, or low, high, mid for this, while also finding one that hits mid, low, mid, high for the other. I'm gonna try and run with that. Go ahead and put a line here. I should like actually make the lines in the colors I'm gonna be drawing them in. Gonna run with this solution for a bit, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, fuck me. So if I got this right, then purple, I just need to hit this one and then this one. So purple probably ends here. And yellow probably ends here. No, that won't work because that doesn't like cover nearly as much horizontal distance as we need. What if we start just going like all the way off to the side? We can go up and that'll hit our first mid. That'll hit our first mid for yellow, and we've already hit the low we need for that. Then we could go like this. Continue, connect here. Oh, shit. And then there would just be... This one needs to come around and go down to like that. Like that. And then we just like come around and up. Would that work maybe? Ow! Fucking hell. Oh! That worked? What? Did I miss something, or was it actually supposed to be that simple? Huh? What? Did I just... Was I just so frustrated that I, like, missed one of the obvious things? That feels obvious in hindsight. I don't know. Have any questions? Yeah, somehow. Question 1, huh? Question 2, what? What was the mechanic that it broke? What was the mechanic that it did that was quote unquote wrong? Like, look, you can't tell. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up the obelisk picture I took on the... Where is it? Remember the greenhouse area with the lights and shit? Yeah. That red light is just not just... What red light? What the fuck do you mean red light? What? What? What do you mean this was also a greenhouse puzzle? I'm going to thank my lucky stars that I didn't have to deal with that and move on with my life. While we're here, let's also look for this last obelisk thing I mentioned. We're just gonna not talk about it. So, wait, hold on. Are you saying it's a filter? Are you saying the whole thing was a filter in the sense that the lines weren't actually both white? One of them was blue and one of them was yellow, like the dots, but they didn't actually shift in the same way as the dots did for some reason? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. How the how did it shift the dots to being distinctly purple and distinctly orange, but the lines were the same color? Shouldn't the lines have shifted with the shouldn't the lines have been recolored along with the dots? Because the colors mix. What does that mean? What do you mean the colors mix? Red and yellow is orange, and red and blue is purple. Yeah, I understand that. Why were the lines both white? The lines weren't orange and purple, though. I presume there's another puzzle where the line is white. The one in the mount that's also a bunker. Did that one have colored dots too? This is hurting. This is giving me a migraine. Let's move on from my life. Let's move on from this bullshit. Where is Hughes? Where's his uses? It seems like we want to. It seems like we almost want to look at it from like top down. Almost feels like that kind of thing, but not sure where you could look at it from top down from. It, I'm gonna just trust your word on this one. And just say that I probably got lucky by not overcomplicating it more than I needed to. Again. Okay, we're looking for an environmental puzzle that does like a big loop-de-loop. It almost looks like this could be it, and no, it's not the right orientation. I figured there may be like a place where you could see them all connect at once. Like, I don't know, like this, where, like, oh, look, it like all connects. But no. That one, that's that one. And that's that one. And then where's this last one at? The landmark down here is part of the, like, one you do from the boat, I think. Bubbling down there. Huh? Also, I seem to have run out of places on the ship to look for this environmental puzzle at. I know PR's mathematical patience. Mathematical patience right after he admits that he was just guessing, kinda. Flamstative. Oh. There hasn't been any, like, environmental puzzle stuff over in this general area yet. So, well, no, there was this. But, like, whatever. Where else could there be anything, even? I want to ask something, but it's kind of a direct hint. Uh, I have no idea from it. You know what? Go ahead. I, I trust you to not. I trust that you're not, like, actively trying to backseat me. Kind of a giveaway. Okay. But then, like, why even mention it at all? Is my next question. Hmm. Oh, what if... Okay, hold on. What if it's a thing where where it's not on the ship itself, but instead I have to look at the ship from somewhere? That's part of the boat one. That's not what I'm looking for. There's also the wreckage over on the side that could maybe be something. I have to look at it from somewhere else. By the way, how are the curiosities? What does that mean? these lines in the sand are so goddamn suspicious. But I don't see any, like, notable starting point sort of places. Oh, why is that door closed sort of thing? Oh, you mean for, like, the Undercity? Undercity, we haven't made any much more progress in trying to get to there. I have, like, picked up a new assumption that I'm kind of working under. That being that maybe collecting all the different bunker codes will help out in doing that. Speaking of, I should go, like, actually input my, bunker code I got. To the windmill! No, this one gives you? I haven't actually watched it. Oh, interesting. So we'll be experiencing this one together then. If any of you want to go ahead and make some popcorn for the movie, go ahead and do so now. Alright. Here it is. Here. This way. And end here. Here we go, that's number 5. Okay, I knew it was like under an hour long. So, you do mean under an hour long, but not like over an hour long, right? Wasn't this? Okay. That's good to know. Gonna say anything?
Know yourself as the open, empty, luminous presence of awareness.
Okay.
Open, because you say yes unconditionally and indiscriminately to all appearances of the mind, body, and world. Like empty space, you have no mechanism inherent within you that can resist any appearance. We don't have to make this the case, it is already the case. Empty, because although you, I, this aware presence, is aware of thoughts, sensations, and perceptions, it is not made out of a thought, a sensation, or a perception. It is made out of pure knowing or awareness. And luminous, because just like the sun, relatively speaking, that renders all objects seeable, so you, I, this open, empty presence, renders all experience knowable. In fact, we don't really see objects, relatively speaking, illumined by the sun. We just see reflections or modulations of the sun's light.
Oh God, you're one of those. Okay.
Appearing as a multiplicity and diversity of color.
Yes, that's what sight is.
In the same way, we don't really know the objects of the mind, body, and the world. We just know our knowing of them. All we know, all that is known, is the knowing of experience. And you are that knowing.
We've never really seen an apple
that is ever
before. All
known
we've seen is the sunlight reflecting off of the
a
object that's
modulation
there in a multitude of colors.
of our
Yes,
own
that's what
knowing
sight is.
Presence.
So you've seen an
Modulating
apple.
itself in the form of thinking, sensing, and perceiving, and seeming to become a mind, a body, and a world.
Can I just talk on the skin again?
But
Sure.
we never actually know a mind, a body, and a world as they are normally conceived. We just know our knowing of them. And this knowing, the substance of our experience, the only substance of our experience, is ourself. In other words, we know ourself.
Alright, we're almost
alone.
2 lines
Awareness
in. We only have 1, 2, 3,
knows
4,
nothing
5,
other
6,
than
7, 8, 9, 10,
itself.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 lines to go.
Be knowingly this open, empty, luminous presence of awareness. We don't need to do anything special to make this happen. Above all, we don't have to manipulate the mind in any way whatsoever to be this presence of awareness. This presence of awareness, which is simply our self, what we refer to when we say I, is ever present.
I mean, I see where you're coming
Check
from,
this.
but
In your
I
own
mean,
experience, nothing
if he couldn't find
that I am
anything
saying this
about,
evening,
like,
there is nothing that cannot be checked.
it's not like
in
he
your own
actively asked these
direct
people to
experience right
give
now. I
their
bring
opinions
no
on this sort of thing.
special
This is like
knowledge
found footage
to
sort of
this
stuff,
meeting.
isn't it?
I don't have a store of knowledge.
So in that case,
which
there
I
is
am
just a possibility that he
disseminating.
couldn't find any like recorded lectures of this sort of
Within the
principle that
limits of
Fight
language,
managed to
trying
capture what he
to
wanted to
describe
say.
The current
I get the suspicion, but I'm
Ask
always
yourself,
one to give the benefit of the doubt, especially when
do I
there's
know anything
the
other
chance it
than
could just
now?
be like, you know, might not exist, might not have found it. I don't know.
Try to experience the not now. Try first to experience the past.
Living in the past was bad.
It's easy to experience a thought about the past. But what about the actual past to which this thought refers?
Dude, even the
Try to
audience in the background doesn't sound like they give a shit about this guy.
Can you step into the past? Can you go 1 second into the past? Or 1 second into the future? Thought can go there. But what about you? really try to go there to make sure that this is not just an interesting philosophical conversation, but that it is actually your experience. That the past and the future are never experienced.
Don't treat this as a thought experiment. Actually try and time travel into the past. This isn't a philosophical conversation. This is a challenge. Go time travel.
And that thought about the past and the future is always now.
I'm gonna be honest. It feels like this guy's using a whole lot of words to not actually say anything.
What does that say about time? Time is a movement between a non-existent past towards a non-existent future. It's a theory, a necessary and valid theory, but a theory that doesn't refer to the reality of our experience. Nobody has ever or could ever experience time. When I say nobody, I mean yourself, awareness, the only one that knows or is aware.
When I say nobody, I mean you yourself. You're calling me a nobody? Calling me a nobody, punk ass bitch? Do I look like Odysseus to you?
I arrived off the plane from London in Washington, D.C. last weekend before coming here.
40? Hell no, brother. Absolutely the fuck not. I've already given this guy, like, the first 4 lines of his thing, and he spent half of it, like, dead quiet, hoping to see if the audience actually cares, and the other half of it using a bunch of words not to say anything. Oh, we've never actually seen anything before. We've just seen the sun's light reflected off of objects. Yes, dumbass, that's how sight works. Congratulations, you just described what eyes do. Riveting. I'm not spending 35 minutes listening to that, dumbass. I've had patience for a lot of this game's nonsense. I don't have a lot of patience for, like, that almost specific subgenre of thought experiment. Where it's like, I mean, if you think of it, if you, like, really think about it, have we actually ever, like, seen anything? Have we ever experienced the past? Does anything exist outside of this? Yes. There's recorded evidence of that happening. You are on recorded evidence of that happening. Like, for fuck's sake, dude. Okay, if I take the boat there, it's gonna take like 5 years. It might actually be faster to walk to a different spot to take the boat from. I mean, there's also the actual, like, environmental puzzle we still never solved from the boat. Okay, no, I'm pretty sure I solved that one, didn't I? I never arrived in Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. arrived in me. I don't know if you heard that. What the fuck does that mean? That's what I'm saying. He's using a bunch of words and a bunch of time to not actually say anything. He's talking in circles. Also, using an academic, I'm presuming just an academic conference, but using an academic conference and starting it off by just, and using one of your first lines to describe how something came in you, I don't know, it's kind of sus. Okay, can't see that line that I took a picture of earlier. Oh, wait, no, I think with that. But that might actually not be something. I saw this little light line in the water while I was on the ship and thought that might be something, but it seemingly isn't actually. Meanwhile, I don't see anything that, like, I couldn't see from the boat itself earlier. I don't know, man, arriving in one itself seems like a very enlightening journey. To reach true enlightenment, you have to take it a step further and arrive in somebody else in order to see things from their point of perspective. That's how you truly become better than the sum of your parts. Real white, viscous, gelatinous liquid moment, if you ask me. Okay, yeah, I can't see anything from, like, the side here that even has enough space to see that. That. What? What's so bad about a white, viscous, gelatinous liquid? I mean, that is what you called it, right? And Cave Johnson arrived in someone in order to find the epiphany to invent the white, viscous, gelatinous liquid. Leo, are we going to hell when we die? I don't think these are the words of people who are going to heaven. Alright, back to the ship. Don't mind the, like, 1-2 step I did just there. I got lost. I think I'm going to hell for another reason. Here's to that. What? Okay, this is the broken line one. But... how? Huh? Yes, I did finish the shipwreck puzzle. I still feel like I must have did something wrong to some extent because it was because it was actually way easier than it out to be once I had my mind cleared out. And the movie was the 5th one. We also actually didn't see it fully. I got sick of the guy's bullshit and left. Okay, I must have to see this one from, like, the boat. Not that boat, but the boat. You know, the boat? Not the boat, but the boat. You know, the boat. As opposed to the boat. The bow. Yeah, the bow. As opposed to the baby. Let's go. this is part of the like environmental puzzle that you got by going through here, so that's not part of what I need here. There's a kind of thing here, but that's just probably not. That's just a consequence of like this one being how it is. I feel like it has to be something about this. Because from that one perspective it looks like a circle, and then from this perspective it looks like a line bend that I can maybe take. But like, where's the spot I could see it that it would all like connect up properly? The problem is that you're trying to witness the now when can't ever witness a now and only the not now. Why is it called oven when if you oven and eat the cold food, out hot eat the food? So many great philosophers of our time, and nobody has answered that question yet. Okay, I think it might actually not be this because this line doesn't stay like a consistent thickness throughout, I don't think. See Jonathan Blow witness that. I'm witnessing it. I'm witnessing it so good right now. Yeah, I'm so going to hell. I get one thing I'll say, are you like looking up the transcript? When I was driving here, or being driven here the day before yesterday from the airport in San Francisco, I was looking in the wing mirror of the passenger seat and noticed the words described at the bottom of the wing mirror. They said, objects in the mirror are closer than you think. A statement of pure non-duality. That doesn't mean it. You know, I was coming to this lecture and I look at the mirror, and on the mirror were instructions about how the mirror worked. Is he... I normally mean this, like, jokingly. And to some extent I mean it jokingly here. Is he stupid? I think he's stupid. Sorry to anyone who, like, actually agrees with his train of thought. I'm not trying to discredit that. I know to some extent I kind of am, actually, but... I'm sure there's some grander purpose that I don't have the patience or the wherewithal to get, but the individual statements themselves read like shit posts. I say this with all due respect for anyone who agrees with Rupert Spira. That sentence sounds like something out of the Looker. I still haven't found this thing. I did find this one. And I kind of found this one because that was on the coastline. I think I need to, like... Sorry, I had to draw a proper wavy line, otherwise my point was moot. Shut up! Okay, I don't see anything, like, in here that could maybe be this thing where I'm looking for. Leo, have you found this puzzle that got circled yet? Did you ever find that one? This one, again, just in case you didn't see. Don't know, actually. Uh-oh. Okay, I checked. Yes, I have. Alright. So, do you have to be on the ship itself, or do you have to observe the ship from, like, outside? Because I feel like I've checked this entire place up to down, like, 50 times. And still haven't found anything that could even kind of resemble this shape I'm looking for. What's the question again? This one. Do I have to be, like, standing on the ship in order to see it? Or is it something I have to, like, look at the ship from the outside in order to see it? Because I feel like I've looked over this entire ship 5 times over and haven't seen anything that, like, even slightly resembles what it is I'm looking for. No. No to standing on the ship, or no to looking outside the ship? Looking from outside the ship. You've trapped me? What? Jesse, what the fuck are you talking about? Give a spoiler answer. The answer is neither. What? Okay, one, is it really a spoiler answer if I directly ask? But also, two, how can it be that I have to not look from the ship to see it, but also you don't see it from outside? You, it's not on the ship or outside the ship, so it's nor it's nowhere. What? You've confused me. I've been discombobulated. I hope you're happy. This line in the water is just this, actually. Okay. Not on top or outside. Where would it be? Are you trying to say it's inside the ship? Because I didn't mean on the ship as in physically standing on top of the ship. I meant like, within the boundaries of the ship itself. Because like, by that criteria, I mean, technically, this isn't on the ship. It's inside the ship cabin. Ooh. Or am I misunderstanding? I've been told I do that a lot. Okay, so it's not on top of or outside the ship, but it is within the boundaries. So, I mean, it's got to be on, like, the inside, right? But, like I said, I've looked through this entire thing, like, 50 times. It feels like. And I probably passed it already, too, which, would suck. Other rope somehow? No, I don't think any of the other rope quite forms the shape it is we're looking for. Another question that could nudge. Did you, though? Did you look through every part inside? I mean, I thought I had. There's the inside here. I'm pretty sure I've looked over this area already. It's not on, like, the walls or anything here. Can't necessarily see it from in there. This doesn't quite fit. I doubt it's something from, like, one of the windows. Behind the solid door. That's where I was gonna check out next. Yeah. Because there is here, but, like, don't see anything of the sort out here. And there's, like, not a whole lot to look at in here, like, in general. I can, like, look up from here, but this isn't anything, it seems. There doesn't seem to be anything in the water. So, I feel like it's not there. There's, like, this tiny little bit of staircase I can walk on here. That's nothing. There's this, like, gap in the corner. One's the first one in the ship I noticed. Oh, wow, I'm, like, stupid then. Okay. There's the hallway here. And I know I'm not crazy. I know I have checked out this hallway before. Okay, what are we looking for? This environmental puzzle that I have circled. don't think anything could be from here. I mean, it out kinda maybe could be something, but I doubt it. Looking from the windows hasn't done anything for me. And there's the top deck, which I've definitely checked out multiple times now. I don't see anything even like vaguely line-ish. At least not in the water out there. They're here with the thermometer looking puzzle. And there's this one down here. This control panel doesn't seem to be anything. There's this little bit of scrap metal, whatever that is supposed to be. Out here. Thank you more, but I don't know how you want to be asked. But I have explored every possible area inside the ship cabin, right? Like, I did just step foot into every possible room you can get into in the ship cabin. There's no way to get on top of the ship cabin, and there's no other rooms I missed, right? Cabin, yeah. Okay, so first follow-up question, is there a way to get inside of the ship that's not the cabin? I have the broken one? Yeah, I'll get to working on that one in a bit, once I get finished up here. I just, prefer to get finished up here first. I have a feeling you need to do that one from the boat. Is there another way to, like, get inside-ish of the ship that I'm missing? Because it's not on the ship or outside the ship? Is there a way to get into this, like, back half of the ship, actually? Because now that I look at it, this looks like... This almost looks like it's supposed to be a ramp to walk up onto. But I have no idea how exactly you would get up onto it. Considering John Witness doesn't know how to swim. Doesn't want to get his, like, 9 to 5 looking up, button-up suit wet. Suit? Shirt. John Witness can fly. You're dodging the question, Leo. Hath I struck its pay dirt? Probably not. I am probably going delusional. As is the way of most common men. Maybe it is a thing where you have to see it from, like, the fast travel boat. I do need to go, like, fast travel boat for the broken one that I noticed earlier anyways. At least I think so. Wait, hold on. No. No, it can't be from the boat, right? Because, like, the perspective I need is here. That is the perspective I need because, like, my guy even, like, kind of snapped into place in order for the perspective to line up. But it is on the same side as the two other boat ones. On the solution? Not yet, no. Let me actually try looking at it from the boat. It is on the same face as the two other ones you saw from the boat. You know, the boat, not the boat. Heaven forbid we confuse the boat with the boat. I've been in and out of this keep area so many times now just to try and get to the ship. This place take off from Body Timber Mill. Timber Mill, whatever the fuck. I think they get that one, I'm pretty sure. Alright. I think he didn't think it was possible, but it actually is possible. Yeah, I can imagine so. The thing being, I'm not sure if I, like, actually have the mental capacity to go through this entire game again, remembering and inspecting every single thing to maybe stumble across one I thought wasn't possible, and then also check it out again to see if it was actually secretly possible. Passes behind the circle. Wait a minute. Okay. First, slow this down just in case this thing I'm looking for ends up being on the... No, it's not turned the right way, I don't think. That's the one that starts from outside. Thing is, if it was from in here, you'd think it would be, like, on the same face as the two other ones you have to do from the boat. Alright. I haven't seen anything yet that looks like what it is we're looking for. And this is the only other way I could think of to get inside of the ship, in quotation marks. Sorry, I just experienced a thought for the first time. As Albert Einstein once said, trust the process. Nope, not that way. Here it is. Oh my god. I don't think I would have caught that if I hadn't said out loud that it passes behind the puzzle. That's a good one. Say I got spoiled this one before. Oh, man. Rest in peace, poor bastard. Now back to the more normal one, which is somehow harder for me. If it was from the boat, it would be on the same section as, like, these three. What other way is there to go, like, inside of the boat? That's not the cabin. Because, like, it's not something you're supposed to see from, like, the boat ride, right? I don't think you can get out of the boat once it's at sail, so even if it passed through here, I don't think there's a way I could get off of it onto there. Okay, so it is one you have to see from the boat, alright. But why is it on this different face then? I don't. Ah, nar. Um, what? If I feel like if I had gotten that, if that assumption I just made was wrong, you wouldn't have responded with right question mark. Totally unrelated question. If you missed it, should I tell you? Can you see it from inside the cabin? No. Okay. So there's another way to get inside, quotation marks, the boat. Where you can seemingly see this puzzle from. Okay, I think my brain's still stuck up on what the fuck you're trying to say when you say that it's, like, not on or outside the boat, but still within the bounds. Like, what? I mean it literally, actually. I understand that. I just don't get it. I understand you mean it literally. I just don't know what that actually means. Because my, like, thought is you can get in... It would have to be from somewhere inside the boat. You don't need to get it, you just need to feel it. Not a hint, by the way. I'm not good with feel it. Do I have to look inside the boat from the outside? Is there another way to get on the interior of the boat? I'm so confused. You've been there. Fuck's sake. Okay, it's not in the cabin. So it's not anywhere, like, on... It's not on this floor. It's not in this room. It's not in this walkway. It's not in this room either. And it's not from, like, the captain's deck up top. It's not in the cabin. But also, it's inside the ship, and I've been there. None of the above, as in I'm correct that it's not in any of those, or that I'm wrong in that it's not in any of those. You're right, that's not in the cabin. Okay. It's not in the cabin, but it's also another part inside the ship that I've been before. The only thing I can think of is that it has to be, like, from the boat, from the boat route that goes through goes, like, directly through the wreckage here. But if that's the case, then why is it not in the same face of the obelisk as the other 3 boat ones? I can tell this is something where, like, my mind's getting stuck on some assumption that I'm acting like has to be true, and it turns out it's actually not true, and that I've been, like, going off of a, like, misassumption for the entire time. I can tell it's one of those, and that's frustrating me. There's not a way to get, like, inside the wreckage from here, right? Man, why couldn't Jonathan Blow add, like, a puzzle metal detector that, like, tells you when you get close? Whatever. That'd make my life so much easier. It has to be from the boat, right? It has to be from the fast travel boat. There's, like... That's the only way I can think of that you could get inside the boat without it being in the cabin. That is the only way I can possibly think. Like, cold, cold, warmer, warmer, warmer. Come on, it's right there. I mean, hot. Is that just a Looker reference, or do you mean that as in I was really close? Looker reference, okay. Wait, no, the passage down was through here. I can't do that in real life. I don't know. I'm lost and confused. I adore puzzle games. I love playing puzzle games. But I also know myself well enough to know that when I get, like, worked up like this, it is so over. I feel like it has to be this, right? Like, there's no way it can't be this. It's the only other way you could get inside the ship. It's not one of those two because those are both both of these. And then that carries through here, here, and ends with this section here. So this is part of the inside line. Line. Okay, Leo, just give it to me straight. Is it in here? Do I have to see it, like, from the boat? Like, on the inside of the shipwreck? Yes. Then why the fuck isn't it in the same space as the boat ones? What have I gotten wrong here? What have I gotten wrong with my understanding of this game? That everything else still manages to fit, and yet also this is wrong. never get things right. Don't say that! I want to have hope for my future, man! I don't see. My ass is blind. Coco Gadget self-deprecation. Where the fuck is this line? Oh! Okay. This top section is like technically-ish oriented the right way around. But there, I also can't see all of it at once. Well, I mean, I guess I could have like that. Is it like up here? Is that it? Backing up, backing up, backing up. Stop. Oh, God. It not in the boat. Like, I get it. It's formed out of the three, like, puzzles that you could see from the, like, top of the boat that are all on that face. But at the same time, this one's from the boat. Why is it not on the same face as the other boat ones? I, I don't... I don't get it. The whole facing is kind of arbitrary. Why does this game only deal in... Why does this game deal in sometimes? The entire premise of this game is that there's hard and fast rules and you either follow them or you get it wrong. Why is it sometimes not... What? What is happening? I feel lost. Let me off Jonathan Blow's Wild Ride. Okay, it only took us 2 hours and 45 minutes, but we managed to solve 3 environmental puzzles. Offensive, it sounds typical autistic pain. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Hello, my name is... alongside John Witness, I'm John Witness, but I'm also John Autism. True. out over here. I have to go out over here and around, and we can finally get back to the abyss. And we're here again. There's only 3 puzzles left. These 3. Judging by the face, I would imagine they're in the jungle, but not like shadows in the same way that these 3 were. So let's get to looking. But yeah, no, I don't really take offense to stuff like that. As long as you're not like actively calling me a slur or something, I'll be fine. And honestly, most of it applies to pick a mental illness, and I probably have had it. Either have had it or still had it. Pick your poison. I've got an idea. Okay. What? Huh? I'm gonna ignore that. I don't think my idea is panning out like I thought. Okay. Idea 2, Electric Boogaloo. How do I get down onto the ground again? My feet wish to make my feet mish? My feet mish mash. My feet wish to make contact with the soil once more. My idea is that, judging by like the kind of right angular sort of pathway we got in here, that thing is I need to like set up the pathways in a certain way and then investigate it from the shoreline. But I also can't get to the shoreline from here. Where can I get to the shoreline from? Where? Now I'm bothering myself that it. Thank God you waited until OPR left to say that. Otherwise, he would have. Homeboy would have been a Project Moon fan again. I can't get down to the shoreline. I have to go back up to the. I have to go back up to the keep edge and then go to the side and then down. And if it turns out I got it wrong, I need to come all the way back up and go away again and go around again. Kill me. So what? Did you like actively look it up and get spoiled? Leo. Okay, so yeah, that one's this is the end of a path. Oh, it definitely is looking up at things from the shoreline down. Definitely, that face is for, like, this shoreline section, I think. Just need to figure out what exactly. It actually seems like only one of them is from the getting the bridges in the proper orientation, I think. Maybe I don't fucking know anymore, man. Hop back up and let's get that one turned, like, at this midway point-ish. If kind of almost. I did it. Boysimos, you did it. Do. I swear I'm normally more well adjusted than this. It's been a rough few months. It's just those three that are missing? Yes. Oh, yeah, that... Yeah, that makes sense. Do I gotta take the boat all the way around in order to actually see this now? Do I have to go down and take some of the boat and take it all the way back around to the keep in order to actually get back down to the shoreline now? Cause you had a bad day, you take a one down, sing a sad song, just turn it around. You say you don't know, you tell me don't lie, you work up a smile and you go for a ride. Gonna Jonathan blow my fucking brains out. Is there anything I can see from, like, here? There's, like, these weird-ass tree knots that almost look like they should be the start of a puzzle, but I don't think they are the start of a puzzle, because they're a bit too spiky to be the start of a puzzle. Do 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 do. Take me to lumber mill. So I think all the EPs, I think that's not the point of finding everything. It's all about discovery. The discovery that environmental puzzles are a thing is one of the most magical things I've experienced in this game. I will say that now. I love the idea of them. Some of these environmental puzzles suck dick. And the fact that there was presumably a reward at the end for actually going out of your way and getting all of them. My first reaction to these are legitimately. Okay. I still remember finding that first one at the pagoda through like one of the cracked walls on the side and being just like dumbstruck. First one was actually the maze. Mine. Oh, you mean the like one that you can get by going around the hedges? Or going through all the hedges would probably be a better way to put it. Alright, let's hope I got the proper orientation, because if I didn't, I'm gonna have to take that entire trek around again in order to actually get to the path and reorient it. I know you're a circle. That's one! Thank God. Oh yeah, the whole obelisk of knowledge thing kind of was an environmental puzzle, wasn't it? Alright, so we have one of the three eepies that are down there. They're called eepies because they make me want to take a nap. Honk, shoot, me. I think Incredible Epiphany's game wanted you to have. I just didn't really make the connection until now. I thought it was just looker nonsense. Not telling that the game actually pulled. In the same way I didn't think the quote would actually mention that the boatman got his insurance money when the ship went down mid-sea and told no tales. I was like, oh, they weren't joking. Okay. Where else could there be puzzle? What else could there be puzzle? How else could there be puzzle? Why else could there be puzzle? These are all questions that you should be pondering at least 20 times a day. Practice your thinking. If you're not thinking enough, then what are you even doing here, man? What do you mean you wanted to play like a funny puzzle game about like logic and lines? No, this is about thinking. This is about the act of thinking. If you're not like actively active thinking, then like what is huh? I want to shoot the gameplay for this game. The final puzzle is to write Jonathan Blow an essay on your experience with the game and how it's changed your life. It feels like I almost slurred my word and accidentally said wife instead of life there, but I don't think I did. Sorry, every now and then I just have to experience the satisfaction of clicking on a thing and then it lights up. just for that. Yeah. Just for that. Where's is the hello? Puzzles. 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 I don't understand why the shadows two different puzzles. What shadow? Which shadow are we talking about? The shadow. That one. This one? I don't have a screenshot of it. Because there's this one here, and then there's also this one here, and then there's also this one that... Oh, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. I guess the theme is that they're all shadow puzzles. Maybe it's not a, like, location thing. Maybe it's a theme thing. Maybe all of those faces are ones that you get by connecting up these, like, pathways, and then taking a 5-mile hike to get back down to the shoreline. Please tell me that's not the case. I'm gonna go boat. I need to actually get back there to open up the shortcut somehow, and I think I have to reorient one of the paths for one of the other environmental puzzles. Why would you make a shortcut that requires the puzzle to be set in a specific way in order to access it, and then make one of the things you have to do to break the shortcut, and then force you to take the long way around? Who decided that? I just want to have a talk. Is the boat in the color area thing near, actually? I mean, maybe, but if it isn't, then I have to wait for, like, the snail-ass movement of the platforms in order to get through all this. Yeah, man, I tried. I failed at speedrunning puzzles. Damn. Why I never actually completed these? Honestly, the thing that's, like, making me complete all these is that I know myself well enough to know that if I quit halfway, I'd be asking myself, what's the deal if I did then for, like, the rest of my life? I can't just start something partly. I either start something and I see it through, or I don't start it at all. Wait, hold on, I can't just reverse this one. Just H. How do I make this? How do I make this go left words? Like that. Let's go. Alright, since I got the shortcut up, I can actually not take a boat ride in order to get down to the shoreline at the time. I just have to go. I go through here, then I go here, then I go here, and here, and go here, and now I here. Now I can go this way, go that way, just this way, it goes the other way. You know, sometimes it feels like I'm able to go 4 hours without, like, going too crazy at any given time. And then sometimes it feels it's a puzzle thing to turn. This isn't the thing, is it? Yeah. No, it's not. Is there another way to orient that might be what I need in my life? No, the only time you can make this turn is here. The fact that they make that bridge just short enough that you can't have access to the shortcut. They can't have access to both shortcuts at the same time. Why would they do that? I have questions. The game will not give me answers. Enough but that won't go from the looker, the one where the novice cannot see the chest piece of pieces of dead wood. I think I understand what it is you're trying to say here. So is there another way I can connect, like, this part up to form more of it maybe? No, the only way I can connect it up to something else, I think, is to, like, have it connected. That one then definitely doesn't work. Okay, so where else is there? Where else is there environmental puzzles? Rupert Zero would say that the game giving you the answer is the question that you're answering. Who asked? Who asked? You know what? Yeah, fuck Robert Spira. All my homies hate Robert Spira. Mortal enemy. Mortal enemy number one. Robert Spira comes by the chat. His name is Rupert, not Robert. I misread. Rupert Spira. If Rupert Spira comes by the chat, I'm banning him on site. I don't know if you like the last one. Joyous days. Joyous days. The purpose of the video is to give players a new archenemy. Some say he's still talking nonsense to this day. Oh, last one is in the last one of the videos. I thought you meant the last one of like the last one of the EPs in here. Spoil the length? I'll spoil the length. Crossing my fingers, praying to God that it is not something absurd. Where they spend like half an hour saying nothing using 1,000 words. What the fuck do you mean it's almost an hour? What do you mean that this game expects you to sit through a full hour of video? Why does this puzzle game have a Metal Gear cutscene in it? What do you mean it expects me to sit through it twice? Oh, it's only 59 minutes. That makes everything so much better. I can feel my eyes rolling backwards into my head. A genuine smile with nothing behind the eyes. Sorry, I'm still needing a second to like process the fact that there's a section in this game that's just genuinely an hour long. Let's get back to puzzles. Wahoo! Puzzles. I love puzzles, Charlie. I love puzzles. Well, okay, I'm not sure you can say that here. We don't need to sprint. We can just take it all in, you know? We don't need to have a run. We can have a walk. Nice, calm walk. Where instead of getting mad that stuff like this made through playtesting, and either nobody mentioned that it was tedious as hell, or that or that Jonathan Blow heard that and didn't care. You don't have to worry about that. We simply do not have to worry about that. Instead, we can simply just take a walk. Instead, enjoy life. Simply marvelous, some might say. Where could there be more puzzles, I wonder? This really does make you think, doesn't it? Is there any other things we can do around here? Any other variables we can change? Does the green path turn? No, it doesn't. Green path does not turn. So unless there's a puzzle here, which I do not think there is, then we'll simply have to go in a different direction. To this day, I still wonder, why is there a treehouse here that the game just doesn't let you get into? Really makes you think, doesn't it? Really puts your brain to good use. That's the kind of stuff you want to be doing with your free time, right? Spending 15 minutes running across the entire level because one of the puzzles the game asks you to do forces you to run off a shortcut. Don't you just love that? Still hunting? One could say, yes. One could say that we are hunting. Another could say that we are simply roaming through the world, like a leaf on a river, observing and looking for patterns where God never intended there to be any. I am but a lonely traveler, drifting through the world, searching for meaning, and ultimately, what is a series of random events. Some pathways that have little flecks of paint. If you look at them right away, they form a circle and a line. Does that mean anything in the grander scheme of things? No. But it doesn't have to. not. It, that's not on the coastline. That has nothing to do with the paths in the treehouse section. This is in a different part of the world. This what what do you want from me, game? Game. Video game. It's like like that. No, there's no way, right? Yeah, no, it doesn't line up in the slightest. No, it has to be facing the other way. It has to be, right? Like, I think it has to be, yeah. What do you want from me, video game? Yeah, yeah, that was this one. Really marvelous. It took us hours of wandering, of looking, of solving in order to find that. But does that mean that the buoy spinning in that direction at that time was a preordained act by God? Was it supposed to do that for a grander purpose? No, a mere coincidence. But a coincidence that's given meaning by the person observing it. Truly, nothing more marvelous in the world. The mere act of random chance. that we've decided means something. Wait. Okay, nope. I am stupid. This one can turn, and I somehow missed it. I see you. The lengths we go to. Something as simple as being able to increment a number by 1. Alright. Cutting the whole, like, philosopher talks Zen shtick for a moment. How many obelisks actually are there? Because I solved the environmental puzzle earlier. I would have swore went towards, like, the desert one. But it didn't go that way. Oh, you mean there's 7. Seven of them. You mean there's 7,000 things, but you mean there's 7. How is there 7 of them? I've only found 5, I think. I think I've only found 5. Have I only found 5? There's the desert one that we solved. There's the city one here. There's the mountain one. There's one in the jungle. I know I solved another one, but it's escaping me at the moment. The fuck was that? Oh, wait, it's 6. Okay. That's a little more manageable. Which means there's one I haven't, like, ran into yet. What is this? What is the one I solved second? I can't fucking remember somehow. I forgot. Oh! How did I never notice this? Okay, so now we know all of the obelisks. We've seen them all. Yippee! Yahoo! The end is in sight. Yes. Is it the end? Yes. Is it ever the end? Yes. Oh, let's see. Okay. That's yay. Okay. Usher, Usher, Usher. Little John. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh. Oh, Ozempic, you know, 'cause that is a fucking circle. This one isn't quite a circle, even though I'm not sure there's a line. I'm trying to complete again. That's the thing, I'm trying to remember. I know I solved the one near the boathouse, you know, the one with the vases, those fucking vases that I hate. And I did just solve the one at the jungle. There's the one at the mountain. There's the one here in the like autumn forest. And there's the one in the city. I can't seem to remember what the last one is. But whatever the one I didn't just mention is, it has to be that one. No, you're the circle. But now you're too elongated. I need to unelongate the circle while also making it fully visible. How do you unelongate a circle? The one near the jungle. That one! No, wait. No. Okay, wait, hold on. I've seen all of them, so I can just... Ah, the one right outside the, like, Chinese pagoda place. That one. That's the one I did. I know you're a circle! Why won't you let me circle you? Can't, like, get any higher up to, like, see from better, but... Why is the circle not circling? Oh, I have to look at it from the other side. Okay. Okay. Right. I forgot. Yeah, I forgot how slow this one is. Come on. No, that elongates it more. Let's look at it more from like here. There we go. That got one. Wahoo. One might even say yippee. Oh, oh, oh. I'm just that good. Alright, I'll be real. I'm starting to get a little tired, and there's something I actually need to, like, go do soon anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and call stream here. How many environmental puzzles are we at now? Oh my god, we've hit triple digits. No way. Alright, I'll see y'all next time. Where we're definitely not gonna finish this. There's no way we solve 3 obelisks next time, but, like, maybe.